1 week into keto again from last week. Last week at this time, we were 265 goddamn pounds. 265, up 40 fucking pounds in 2 goddamn months. Eating a shitload of carbs. It was a good time overall. But 265 is too damn much. Too damn high. So, first week back on keto, anabolic diet style, and we are down, as I predicted, right around 10 fucking pounds in the first month. In the first week, I'm sorry, in the first week. This is the first week, not the first month. 10 pounds, about 10 pounds. It's actually about 9 pounds. So we were 265 last week. Right now, we're 256. That's 1 week. And I could really tell the difference within 3 days. A lot less bloated feeling. A lot less bloated feeling from, before that, eating a crap load of carbs, eating carbs all the time, which I'm just not cut out for eating that many carbs. It's fun. I'm not saying that it's not fun to just eat whatever the hell you want. And I'm not saying you don't gain a lot of strength from that, or can at least gain strength from that. But in the end, it's just not, it's not my thing. It's just not worthwhile putting on that much fat that quickly. It's just not something I would suggest doing unless you've never done it. In that case, do it. Maybe you can get by with longer than I did. I got by with 2 months. I wanted to go 3 months. I couldn't push it because I would have been fucking 280, in another month. So we went back to the cut. So we're gonna cut back down to 220 to 230, and then I'll start on what I originally planned to do before I did this. What I originally planned to do was just sort of add in carbs right around the workout, and then keep everything else relatively low carb. The only thing I really miss, you really only miss the carbs for the first few days until you start really getting used to it. If you've never been on keto before, or keto style diets like the anabolic diet, you might lose some focus. You might not feel like working out. You might lose some strength. At least at the beginning, you'll start, once your body starts to adapt to keto and the ketones, you can start getting stronger. You can actually gain muscle on keto. That comes down to more overall calories. There's a lot of ways to gain muscle. The body can adapt to a lot of different things. You don't need carbs to gain muscle necessarily. You just don't. I mean, other things can be turned into the carbohydrate. Like some parts of the body need carbohydrate. Like they don't run on ketones, but the body can synthesize that it would need. The body can do that itself from protein and from fat, from some fats and from some parts of protein. So anyone who tells you you have to have carbs doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about and hasn't opened a goddamn science book. I'm not saying avoid carbs for everyone. I'm just saying let's put this shit in context. There's no such thing as an essential carb. There just simply is not. Civilizations have succeeded for millennia not having carbohydrate, having really just fat and protein, and that's it. They've survived just fine. But anyway, if it's the first time you're on a keto style diet, expect to feel weak for at least 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even a month. But that will start coming back as long as you don't give up too much on the weights. Don't give up too much. I experienced this myself, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't going back on the low carb that caused my loss in strength. I'm pretty sure it was just stress from other things, not getting enough sleep, not your head not really being in the game whenever you're working out, just because of everything else that's going on at the time. So that's what caused the loss of strength this week, at least in my opinion, because coming off high carbs, I felt the loss of strength the first day. There's no goddamn way you're going to feel a loss of strength. There's no way you're going to be out of muscle glycogen whenever literally, 8 hours earlier you were stuffing your face with carbs, and now just because you didn't eat right before you worked out, now all of a sudden, you don't have the strength that you did, the last 2 months. So, it's just my head wasn't in it as much this week. But even with my head not being in it as much this week, but still making sure I hit it as hard as I could, just with everything else going on, it's, your head isn't always in there as much as you'd like it to be. So we lost some strength this week, but I'm not too worried about it at this point. If it gets to be a problem, we'll just up the total amount of calories. But even with my head not being completely in it, and even without, I think I did cardio maybe once or twice this week. just because there was so much shit going on. I didn't have time. I still got my 2 hours of weights in. But even only doing cardio like once or twice, we still hit that almost 10 pounds that I predicted. So this was just an update, man. Fat squatch to skinny squatch, or I don't know. Fit squatch. Fat squatch to fit squatch again. Get back down to fucking 225. I like 225 a lot better. Actually, 240 is not too bad if the fat is kept in check, but I don't know. We'll see. Right now we're at 256, which is still too damn much. Just too damn much. Too damn high. That fat is too damn high. All right, man. We're just going to call it, let's just call it 10 pounds, even though it's 9 pounds. 10 pounds down 1 week. Next week, I don't anticipate 10 pounds. Next week, I anticipate a max of 5. That's a max of 5 pounds. Just because so much water was lost. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, you'd think I was a fucking water fountain or a fucking waterfall. How much you're going to be pissing whenever you first start going into the induction of keto. You just fucking lose water like a motherfucker. It's quite insane. So anyway, wrap this shit up because I have a lot of shit to get to today. But that's just the update, man. We're 10 pounds down. Just like I said we would be on the first week back on keto.